Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are back in the low tiers today. In the Nikolai, the Imperator Nikolai, the Russian tier 4 battleship, and we are bottom tier. Now, why am I in the Nikolai? Well, it's not because I like to go around SEAL Club, that isn't it. What it was I was watching the Hivehound stream yesterday, and I was like, yeah, let me try to jump into some of his matches. And this is one that I tried to get into his match, didn't quite work out, but I ended up having a really good game, and I think you guys are going to enjoy. So, without further ado, let's get the Nikolai into it. Now, we are bottom tier. That's something that we need to remember right off the bat, because there are people out here who can absolutely wreck you, so you've got to keep that in mind. Now, one of the biggest things that I see people screwing up when they're in this Nikolai is two things. One, they stay broadsided. Broadside syndrome in a battleship is one of the worst things that you can get into. Okay? When you have all of those guns, you want to use them all the time no matter what. And what it does, it leaves you open to getting absolutely obliterated. And you can't do that. You've got to learn when you can broadside, when is best not to broadside. And one of the strengths of this ship is its turning ability. It has amazing armor when it's bow tanking. And it turns really well. So much like the Colorado, much like the Queen Elizabeth, the Warspite, I'm trying to think. It used to be the Nagato and the Amagi, but they've kind of been nerfed. But a lot of these ships that have really powerful broadsides also have good turning. And the way that they get away with it is you wait, use patience. Oh, hello, Furry Taco. Oh, can't reach him, so guess who gets to be front and center? That's one of the downsides of this as well. That cruiser out there can shoot me with high explosive, and I can't shoot him back because Russian. Hi, Furry Taco. Wait for it. Pow! 305mm battleship guns. And cruiser, broadside, not a good day for the cruiser. And wait for it. He should be down any moment. And sure enough, down he goes. Well, I say that. He's not gone yet, but he's about to be. So the Budyani out there is shooting beyond my range to be able to touch him, which is one of the reasons that brawler builds have kind of gotten on my bad side. Now, this is not a brawler build, this is a dispersion build, so we have the maximum available range, but unfortunately our small caliber battleship guns and the fact that it's a low tier ship means that you can't reach out as far as you would like to, and Russian cruisers have really good range. Most cruisers, tier 5 and up, have really good range. But, yeah, we had to mute our teammate there. I think there was a kid that started screaming in the background, and I was just like, nope. Can't have that. But anyway, so the Budyani is not at maximum range anymore. He has now snuck himself inside deletion range. And we are going to reach out and touch him. Or at least we would if I could aim. Unfortunately, didn't quite make it happen. But notice there's an Imperator Nikolai heading in our direction. There was already a New Mexico spotted. We got rid of the Furry Taco pretty quick, but the Budyani is now an issue because we need him gone. It's bad enough that I have to worry about the New Mexico and the Imperator, and there's a destroyer spotted off to my left, but he's next to two cruisers, so I figure I'm probably safe from him, and you can see we are getting touched, but we do finally get rid of the Budyani. Down he goes. And now, it's me versus this Nikolai, and I want you guys to pay attention to this battle in particular. It's going to be a disengage and a re-engage, but just pay attention to what I do versus him and what he does versus me. Now, initially, I thought that he was going to come over and do a pretty good job of angling. However, he's not. And because I know it has really good belt armor, I'm going to go ahead and try to aim a little higher. And you can see, because I'm aiming higher, I'm able to get multiple penetrations. Also, there's no superstructure to shoot at, so you can't do that. But notice the steeper angle, me, and he's probably not shooting into the upper plating. He's not getting any damage. He does knock out one of my guns. Unfortunate, but it happens. Hello, Furry Taco. You shouldn't be around anymore. It's time to go. So without further ado, time to finish what I started. Goodbye, Furry Taco. So 2 cruisers down. The Nikolai is still encroaching on my position. I need to deal with him. Now, watch what I'm going to do. The front 3 guns are 180-degree oscillating turrets across the front. They turn across the front of the ship, which means they are almost always where you need them to be when you need them to be there. Almost. But you can see, again, I'm aiming high. I don't want to hit the water line. I want to hit a little higher up. We only get 2 hits. One still shatters, but we still did some damage. But notice I am backing around. He is starting to shoot at the cruisers, which is not preferable for my team. But, I mean, if he's going to shoot at them, he's presenting me with a broadside to shoot at. And the side plating on the ship is not that thick, but he does recognize that he makes a mistake and he turns away from us. So with that, I go ahead and start trying to focus the Bidyani, try to help my cruisers out. There's no need to worry about that 305mm battleship that's going to be hard for me to pin while he's sailing away, when I can shoot at much lighter armored cruisers and potentially save my teammates. But it didn't quite work out that way. But I can use the rear gun to still shoot at the Nikolai. Now, the New Mexico presents a unique challenge, and that is he has much larger guns than we do. And he has much larger guns than the Nikolai that was shooting at us earlier, which means we have to present a steeper angle for when he starts shooting at us. But right now, he's shooting at my cruiser. You can't really blame him. It's an easy kill for him, as long as he knows what he's doing. But you can see I'm doing the same thing. I'm not worried about the battleship at the moment because he's a harder kill. I'm trying to get rid of one of the ships right off the bat. Now, the other side of the map has royally won, no contest, just absolutely obliterated everybody. But as you can see, we are whittling away the Bidyani, who's gotten very lucky to not be citadeled up to this point. But we're still taking a lot of health off of him. He's burning, he's going to die. There's no reason for me to shoot him, even though I did try to shoot him there. There's no more reason to worry about him, so I go ahead. The Marblehead finishes him off, and now it's time for me to start engaging the Nikolai and eventually the New Mexico. And the Nikolai comes out broadside on. We anticipated it, so we got the shot out early, and we're starting to reverse and turn so that he gets the minimal possible... Oh, God! Oh, he's firing high explosive. That's both good and bad. It's good because as long as he's firing high explosive, he can't citadel me, which means I'm less likely to get obliterated. However, remember, I get 4 damage controls. That's it. So if he sets a bunch of fires, he's going to do significant amounts of damage. Plus, the fact that he's hitting me with high explosive means he's getting consistent damage rather than hitting me with armor piercing and bouncing. But I'm using the island to my right, and you'll see I start going forward here, trying to keep the island between me and the New Mexico. That allows me to single the Nikolai. I don't want to get in an open water fight with the New Mexico if I can avoid it. Though, if he gives me a broadside, I will take shots at him because why wouldn't I? You know, if he's giving me a good angle, see, he's angled. So what I'm going to try to do here, because he's angled, because I have small caliber guns, I'm going to aim high and hope to hit that superstructure. Most battleships that have good armor plating everywhere else on their ship have a lot of hit points in their superstructure. So if you can hit their superstructure, even if you're getting overpins, multiple overpins add up. And it's better than bouncing everything off the side of the ship. Now, contrary, you could load a high explosive and try to do it that way. But you can see this New Mexico does not consider us a threat, which is fine with me. Either that, or he's trying to get the rear guns to fire at me as well. It's one of 2 possibilities, right? And I am in a very dangerous position right now because I am giving way too much broadside to him, but because he gave it to us, we are able to hit him pretty hard. Now, he does set us on fire, but because he's a battleship, I'm not going to give him the gratification of staying on fire because we have 3 more heals. There are only 2 people left, and I'm fighting both of them. One of them, however, who's firing high explosive, is looking at my teammates, which is fine with me. I requested help, and they gave me the affirmative. They are on their way. We've got a guy capping. This is a win in every way possible. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to shoot at him, and then I'm going to take and choose to fight the Nikolai. Now that the New Mexico's about to exit our range, he's about to give a broadside to half my team, which is, you know, preferable in that case. But the Nikolai in front of us, we were angled really steeply against. He couldn't do anything to us, really. But now he comes out the other side. I aim high, and we get chunked, but we chunked him harder. We hit him for 9,900 there, and that's a pretty significant hit. But we're not the only one going to be shooting him here. We're going to have some help from behind us, and that person is going to be firing AG. But you can see I'm not staying broadside on while I'm loading. So every shot that he shoots at me while I'm doing this is doing negligible damage. Now that I'm about to be loaded again, he's going to try to swing. I've got the shots off, and we get a nice penetration right through the front of his ship. And that's what you have to do. You got to know the strengths and the weaknesses of your ship, and that is one of the things that I try to tell people all the time. Doesn't matter what ship you're in, you got to know the strengths, you got to know the weaknesses. There we go, we have our cooldown back, so we go ahead and use our damage con for that fire, and he's on fire, and now he's on fire multiple times because he just got hit by 2 cruisers. And unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do any more damage to him because he's going to sail around the corner and he's going to burn to death. So the most likely scenario for him was that he had already used his damage con for busted things when he shouldn't have, and that's something that you have to balance in these Russian battleships. You got to know when to use them, when not to use them. Try to hold on to them as long as you can because they come in real handy at the end of the game. But 125,000 damage as bottom tier in a tier 4 battleship, not too bad. Top of the leaderboard, 2,500 base XP, not bad. So, hopefully this has been a good video for you guys. I know it's not a top tier video, but it's something different. So if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.